our speakers, Daniel and Tajamal from AWS and Francisco from Siemens, covering our today's partner contribution update on our info session. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Daria. Paco, if you want to share.
Yes, yeah, it should be coming up.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, thank you, Daria. Thanks for having us, and good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to our info session. And today we are talking about how Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Siemens are collaborating to solve an ongoing customer problem, which is establishing seamless connectivity and integration of IT and OT systems at scale. My name is Daniel Franz. I'm a Senior Partner Development Manager at Amazon Web Services. And I'm joined today by my two esteemed colleagues, Tajamal Sheikh, who's the Senior Product Manager for IoT Services at AWS, and Francesco Franco, who is a Strategy and Innovation Manager at Siemens Factory Automation. So I will kick it off, hand over then to Tajamal, and then Francesco will conclude this info session. So without further ado, let's get started with the next slide. What you just said, like industrial customers and manufacturers are struggling to truly benefit from the promise of smart manufacturing and digitalization. So currently they're not able to realize the improvements and productivities that they're hoping to get. They're actually facing significant hurdles in their efforts to drive these transformative initiatives. And customers are telling us actually that the core challenge lies in the fact that 90% of the 1,800 petabytes of data per year that manufacturing operations are generating today remain siloed and locked away in isolated on-premise systems. But even when companies manage to integrate data from various sources, the struggle doesn't end there. In fact, like more than 70% of all the industrial IT projects never make it past the proof of concept or pilot stage. So these innovative projects often remain confined to a single line or a factory, but in fact, they're failing to scale across the enterprise. And the reason is very simple, because accessing and integrating the data is not a one-time effort. So customers came to us asking for an approach that allows them to easily and cost-effectively repeat this process, not just for one machine or line, but across their entire manufacturing operations. By only then, they can build a robust data foundation that is capable of generating the real-time insights that are needed to drive the improvements in productivity, in quality, and in efficiency. So, basing on the true promise of what smart manufacturing is. And by moving to the next slide that Paco just did, I'm explaining why it makes sense that Siemens as a leader in OT and AWS as a leader in cloud infrastructure announced this collaboration, as we believe we are uniquely positioned to help our customers to overcome these challenges and unlock the full potential of smart manufacturing. And what we are doing together is we are enabling a seamless flow of data from the edge to the cloud, providing customers with a robust and enterprise-wide data foundation that integrates information from both systems, from the OT systems and from the IT systems. And this unified data lifecycle allows customer actually to easily connect to data sources. They can contextualize the information and send it to the cloud for advanced analytics and AI model training. And then crucially, they can also then deploy those models back to the edge, driving the real-time insights and the actions right where the work gets done. So, but the real power of it comes with the ability to scale. So by leveraging AWS IoT SiteWise Edge on Siemens Industrial Edge, customers can take these IoT projects that I talked about in the beginning that started as proof of concepts or as pilots and effortlessly roll them out towards their entire manufacturing and factory network. And with that, I pass it over to Tajamal, who will walk you through how this edge to cloud synchronization actually works in practice.
Thank you, Daniel. Hello, everyone. My name is Tajamal Sheikh, and I'll cover how AWS and Siemens have collaborated over the last few months to break down some of the data silos and do it in a way that it is easy, seamless, and repeatable for customers. So to start with, what you see is the overall stack. At the bottom, you have the field level or the shop floor. That's where you have your industrial equipment and your OT network. In the middle, you have your factory level, typically a data center or a server room that you have on-prem. And then on top, you have the cloud, both for AWS services and also for the Siemens Industrial Edge Hub. I'll quickly go over how customers are deploying some of these solutions and what we have done to make it easier to send data to the cloud. So to start with, on the right side, you have Siemens Industrial Edge Hub, where customers typically start their journey and get access to the global repository of applications, get access to be able to install their Siemens Industrial Edge management on premises or in the cloud as well, which then they can use to deploy their industrial edge devices. I'm sure all of you are familiar with this stack. What we have done with the collaboration is provide customers who are already using this to collect data from their machines to make it easier for them to send data to AWS. And that is by the orange box that you see in Industrial Edge Devices, an application that we have launched recently called SiteWise Edge that connects with the Industrial Edge data bus on the device, subscribes to the data, and starts sending it to the cloud in an efficient way. Once the data is in the cloud, customers can model this data using SiteWise. They can calculate metrics, they can visualize this, they can calculate KPIs and run reports on top. But not only that, SiteWise also allows you to then send this data to any other AWS service that you would like to process it further. So for example, if you have machine learning use cases and you want to use SageMaker, or if you have analytics use cases and you want to use QuickSight or other visualization applications or reporting tools, you can do so with just a few clicks. This is a bit unique in the industry right now, the solution, where you have a single solution that is flexible enough to meet the requirements of both the IT folks, but also really easy to use for the OT folks, and is sort of purpose-built for their usability in mind. Next slide, please. So what solutions are available or can you develop with this collaboration? You can start with the connectivity and data integration. Siemens Industrial Edge provides applications for getting data from your industrial equipment. You can also develop your own custom applications. But then we have provided the sort of bridge from edge to cloud that allows you the complete machine to edge to cloud sort of data pipeline. Once you have access to all your data in the cloud, you can then address use cases and use any of the AWS AI ML services portfolio. But not only that, Siemens Industrial Edge also has capabilities and applications built specifically for bringing some of those ML models to the edge and having a edge to cloud continuum for deploying ML models and running those use cases. And finally, you can develop applications both for the cloud and the edge using Mendix that allows you rapid implementation of any of the use cases. So on the use cases side, what customers typically start with are near real-time asset monitoring and energy management to help them identify opportunities for optimization and to run more sustainably. Once you have access to the data and from all of your facilities, you sort of unlock the next level where you can get a view of all your enterprise level analytics and identify opportunities across different facilities that you have. And then once you have all of your data across facilities, you can run reports and everything. You can then move to a more proactive or predictive model where you gain insights using ML models for use cases such as predictive maintenance, predictive quality, and so on. Next slide, please. And so this is a very sort of typical journey that customers take, and this is what one of our lighthouse customers, Frontmetech, has done. To give you a brief overview, Frontmatech is a meat processing machine manufacturer based out of Europe, but they have a global customer base. When they came to us a few months ago, they wanted to set up a digital services solution to enable their customers to monitor their equipment in near real time, identify opportunities for improvement, and also be able to access things like documentation, things like ability to order any parts that they need to reduce their unplanned downtime. Their challenge was that they had to integrate data from various protocols and then structure that data to then be able to calculate KPIs on top and share that with their customers as well as their own teams. They started using Siemens Industrial Edge and Industrial Edge connectivity applications to collect all the data. These applications come out of the box, so that was pretty simple. They then used SiteWise Edge to send all of this data to the cloud, structured it there, built their asset model in the cloud, and then calculated KPIs and connected with their visualization application. When we onboarded them, the onboarding actually took just a few minutes. I think it was less than 15 minutes. And they were able to achieve the same outcome that previously took them a few months. And the solution that they had previously developed was not scalable because it required point-to-point integrations and so on. With Siemens Industrial Edge and SiteWise, together, they were able to develop a solution that they're now able to scale from their initial POC of 4 machines to 400 across the globe. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is an architecture of the sort of joint product deployment. What you see on the left side is the shop floor, and you have your industrial equipment, your PLCs, and so on. You connect them to the connectivity applications that I just mentioned on Siemens Industrial Edge. You can store the data using Industrial Information Hub, and then you can share this data with applications running on Industrial Edge using the data bus application. The third column that you see there is applications. So you have out-of-the-box application that Siemens provides. You can develop your own applications using Mendix. You have a sort of low-code environment with Flow Creator to do quick prototyping, or if you want to develop any sort of data transformation pipelines. And then you have SiteWise Edge when you are ready to send this data to the cloud. And that's the third arrow the number 3 that you see. This data will land in SiteWise. You can model that data there. You can manage the lifecycle of that data. And then depending on your use cases, and we've highlighted only 3 here, for example, for digital twin, you can visualize this data using SiteWise Monitor, or if you want to build sort of a 3D digital twin, you can use AWS IoT Twin Maker. If you have your, if you want to use other visualization applications, we have integrations with them as well. So for example, Grafana, you can self-host it, or you can use AWS managed or Amazon managed Grafana. For analytics, you can send this data to S3. You can use that data in Mendix applications, and then once the data is in S3, you can also use Glue, Athena, and QuickSight, the 3 services that we have for your analytics use cases. And also, once you have the data available in S3, it can then be used in ML models using SageMaker. You can develop those models in the cloud, and then using Industrial Edge AI Model Manager application, you can deploy those models to the edge and run inference at the edge. And this, we feel, is a very strong and compelling offering for customers, where you have a single solution that can build the data foundation for asset monitoring, for energy management, and then also use that same data foundation for running ML inference, both in the cloud and at the edge. And now I'll pass it to Paco to conclude our collaboration.
Thank you, Tayamal. So yeah, mainly what AWS and Siemens are trying to do here is one, to accelerate the time to value for our customers, And to achieve that repeatable core that we were discussing at the beginning, this is addressing the challenges that we discussed, that Daniel discussed at the very beginning of the presentation. And we do this by, simplifying the way that our customers set up the edge to cloud connectivity, the way our customers connect to their assets in the shop floor, and the way our customers are able to generate these valuable insights by enriching this data and by contextualizing this data and forming these asset models in IoT SiteWise. Third, number three, by achieving that scalability of those deployments, making it easy to deploy that repeatable core and making it easy to manage that infrastructure at the shop floor. Right, this is what Industrial Edge brings to the picture. And last but not least, once you are able to do all of that, our customers can either build or buy purpose-built applications, either on the AWS market and or on the Industrial Edge market as well, and combine these to build these smart manufacturing end-to-end use cases. If you would like further information about this joint offering and the other offerings that AWS and Siemens are bringing, we have those links for you to explore. On the left-hand side, we have the original press release for the release of these joint offering at the end of last year. Here we have the latest blog post for this joint offering, where our customer Frontmatic, that Jamal referenced in the presentation, talks about how they are using this joint offering. The release of the general availability of the application, the listing in the marketplace as well, where you can get access to the application in the Industrial Edge marketplace, and last but not least, the documentation, so you can see how easily you can configure that application and set up your gateways in AWS IoT SiteWise. And other than that, from our side, nothing much to add. And feel free to ask us any questions, and get in touch with us if you're interested in learning more about the application.